Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we're reacting to a copy request. Thank you to Nami for requesting this. Thank you so much. This is from a channel called Bob Gu, and Nami said the following: There are many different ways to make Budae Jjigae, but basically, after Korea's independence from Japan and during the improvised times following the Korean War in North Korea, Koreans adapted Spam, which was brought in by the US military into a Korean style dish that eventually developed into the form we know today. Okay, let's check this out. Guys, let's go. Let me know if you like Spam. I know Spam is part of Hawaiian dish as well.
What do you see? I see not just a stew. I see a melting pot of cultures. This
Wow.
stew is an output of conflict, ideology, bloody war.
Wait a second. Is that cheese in the middle? Or is that beans? Wait a second. That looks like British food mixed with American food mixed with Korean food. Is that it? Well, let's let him explain. Let's see.
What do you see? I see not just a stew. I see a melting pot of cultures. This stew is an output of conflict, ideology, bloody war, and the struggles of Korean people to live on. Today's dish, the Budae Jjigae, aka Korean Army Stew, will be pretty deep in terms of not only the flavor, but also the story. I'll tell you the story about it and then show you how to make it. Please leave a like and subscribe before we start. Always thank you very much for your support. Let's talk about the story.
That
if you
looks
want just the
delicious.
recipe, skip the chapter using the timestamp below. But the best seasoning for
Now I'm
a
here
dish
for the story
is
too.
always the story. Army stew is basically a stew made of food supplied to the United States Army. That food is such as canned ham, baked beans, and processed cheese. Why are those ingredients distributed in South Korea? To know that, we have to talk about the history between the United States and Korean Peninsula.
And British too, right? I feel like there's USA, British, and Korea in the dish.
1945, Japan surrendered in war against US. Colonies under the Japanese Empire were liberated, and Korea was one of them. Korean Peninsula divided into North and South based on the 38th parallel. North Korea went under the rule of Soviet, and for the South was the US. And that structure is still.
This is crazy, isn't it? The best thing that happened for South Korea was to go under the US, because now, you know, it's South Korea. It's not North. You know, dude, it's crazy, right? How it divided a country. Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
Still going on until nowadays. Then in 1950, North Korea invaded the South, and that was the beginning of tragic Korean War. US and South Korea fought together against North Korea, China, and Soviet, and the US military stationed in South Korea even after the war ended in 1953. During and after the war, Korean people got terribly poor. After a long Japanese colonial era, Korean people had already been consumed by Japan, and the war to the Korean people was like a double tap. Korean people who managed to survive had to subsist on the aid the US military provided. It was so miserable that the people had nothing to eat, so they had to eat even the food waste from the military barracks. That was not an unusual thing. The symbolic dish was called 꿀꿀이죽, piggy soup to be translated. It was a soup made of ingredients collected from food garbage bins. Despite the harsh, miserable reality, Korean people lived on. All that being
Wow. So basically, food from leftovers.
said, now we can talk about the army stew. The perspective that the piggy soup is the origin of army stew is not true. Piggy soup is based on food waste, but the army stew is based on legit ingredients. To be surprised,
I have a question. When there's leftover food from your fridge, do you call it piggy stew? Because I feel like that would become a cultural thing. I feel like if you're eating leftovers from the day before and you get it all together and make something, maybe that would be called a piggy stew today. because I feel like there's something similar in Brazil, but I don't know. Is there such an expression or no?
Army stew was not a dish for poor people. The ingredients for the stew were not common goods. Throughout 1960 to 70s, food supplied to US Army was distributed in the black market, and those were not for normal people. Those were rare. But as time goes by, especially in the region near the US Army bases, some restaurants start to make dishes made of those foods. They made stew using basically Korean ingredients like kimchi and exotic canned foods like ham, sausages, and baked beans. And
Heinz baked beans. I find that odd. I find that an odd mix over there. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, Nami, that because obviously I don't speak Korean, but I feel like that expression would turn into something more of a, not a joke, but of an expression in nowadays. So they reheated food, they call it that way. Reheated with leftovers, they call it that way. Yeah, I think I thought so. And I feel like there's the food. You guys know feijoada from Brazil, right? I feel like that is a mix of, if you think about it, it's a mix of beans with pork, with ear, tongue, with all the parts of the pork. I'm sure it was like the same origin where, the slaves, African slaves that came from Angola, for example, who settled in Bahia, they started doing a lot of dishes. I think that's the story. I can't give you 100% of certainty, but they mixed it, made a stew, and now everybody eats it. But it was originated as a necessity. At least I think that's the story.
domestic processed meat products started to be distributed, the price for the army stew went down, and eventually, normal people were able to buy this stew when about 1970s to 80s. And that was the origin of the famous army stew. This is the most probable story of that. All that being said, why don't we make it for ourselves? It will be pretty
Nice.
easy, so let's go to work. There is nothing to worry because
The American
army stew
cheese.
recipe is so generous. You don't have to be concerned about the amount or kinds of ingredients to put in. As long as you keep the big boundary, it will be fine. Meat. Just chop the ingredients, pour the stock, and boil it. That's all. Let me introduce the essential ingredients first, starting with the kimchi. You need a decent, mature kimchi. If you didn't watch my kimchi making video, move on to that quickly after watching this, please. Next, processed meat. Ham, sausages, bacon, any products you like. There will be so many great sausages outside Korea. The stew you guys make could be tastier than mine. Last is baked beans. The tomato with sauce and bean make the broth rich. These three ingredients are the key of the stew. Rest of the ingredients will be explained while making the stew. Check this whole ingredients list if you need. Let's make the sauce first. Its ingredients are also optional. To the container, add minced garlic, doenjang, gochujang, soy
Let
sauce,
him
chili
cook.
powder, beef bone stock, and chicken stock. Add hot water and dissolve them. Just pour every Korean sauce you got into the stock. That is the character of this stew. It's all about the roasting. I'm going to start chopping the ingredients, and that is nearly everything to do. There is no rule for chopping, but I want to make it look as pretty as possible. First, kimchi. I'll chop it in a bowl using kitchen shears. Kimchi stains the chopping board and
That's
I
how
hate
you.
it.
That's
Next,
how
for
you
the
cut
processed
things
meat,
with the
I will
scissors.
use 3 different kinds. I want it to be fancy. That is spam, Johnsonville sausages, and bacon. Spam is the Rolls Royce of canned ham, at least in Korea. It was treated as a fancy gift in Korea. It pairs so well with the rice so.
Do you guys have gimbap with spam? Obviously you do, right? But that's a traditional Hawaii type of dish, isn't it? What do they call it in Hawaii? Does anybody know? Spam. It's what is it called? I can't remember the name. It's a Hawaiian sushi with spam. There's a name for it. Spam musubi, spam musubi. I heard it was Hawaiian. Yeah, musubi. Isn't it Japanese? It's very famous in Hawaii. At least people mention whenever they do musubi, they mention Hawaii.
highly recommended.
Spam musubi.
Johnsonville sausage is also one of the most famous sausage brands in Korea. Cut it however you like, but don't slice it thick. We need to make the broth thick. And for bacon, I bought something not very authentic. It's more like a ham. Don't use salty bacon, it will be hard to manage the saltiness. These processed meats are up to your taste. Make your own combination to
Getting
make the
hungry
pot.
watching
The
this.
rest of the ingredients are also optional. I added what I think is good to add. Let's go faster. To the pot, spread bean sprouts, add kimchi, spam, sausages, bacons, crown daisy, spring onions, tofu, a slice of American cheese, and baked beans. Repeat, these ingredients are optional, but each one has its own role, so I recommend you to add them all. Now it's go time. Add the sauce into the pot, pour water, and boil. That's it. There is nothing to worry about. Every ingredient is so powerful. They got so much flavor as is, so you don't have to worry if it is not good. Despite the power that the ingredients have, the teamwork of them is incredible. Just like
Nice.
they were born to be one, they are so united. It's all done. It's ready to devour.
My only
One
concern
more
is the
thing, I
tofu
need a
not
drink.
having...
I can't resist. Icy cold soju. Yes, please give it to me. It has syrupy consistency when it's
I need to
extra
try
cold.
soju.
Let's sanitize the throat. So good. Finally, let's have a taste. This taste cannot be imitated. So unique and so tasty. With white rice, it is just bulletproof. What if I throw a ramen in there? Insanely
I need to
good.
try the soju.
Perfect. Ramen is one more essential ingredient. Don't skip it. I can't resist again. I'd like to drink more. My choice is lager.
Soju with
Korean
soda?
liquor pairs so
lager.
well with food. What if I mix soju with beer? Insane. Why do you spend hundreds of dollars to drink? Happiness is not that expensive. For real,
Happiness
please make
is not
this
expensive.
an experience. Get some sausages, kimchi, stock, etc. and just boil them in a pot. That easy. You will not regret. Alright, that is it for today guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please support me by like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be
Nice.
back with another great stuff. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.
Okay. That was a nice video, but we're not over yet. We're going to do one more video about spam, which is the next one. So hold on to your horses, guys. This is the spam classic. How do you call this? Budae Jjigae. I think that's how you call it. Budae Jjigae. Am I saying that correctly or no? Okay, let's check this one out. This is the official one. Spam classic. Okay, ready? Spam classic Budae Jjigae. Grilled spam is actually pretty good. But guys, why is spam so expensive? At least here in the UK, it's quite expensive. That looks like it's gonna give it a very nice taste. The sauce is what makes it unique, you know. Wow, okay. So this was the official commercial. So it's one of the official commercials from the channel, the spam channel. Pretty dope. Now I want to have some spam. Like literally, I feel like spam is very tasty when you grill it. But I feel like it's expensive here. I don't know. Like I think maybe £6 for just a tin. I don't know. Okay, that was pretty cool. Guys, I need to try this. Man, I'm getting so hungry with these videos, and the next thing I need to do is try some Korean. I need to go to a Korean restaurant and try these things. So I probably will make a video about it too. Thank you so much, Nami, for showing me this. Guys, if you want to request videos just like Nami did, go over to Buy Me Coffee. Or if you want to watch full movie reaction series, shows, and other stuff, go over to Buy Me Coffee or Patreon. The links are in the pinned comments, and click over here for more. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.